Hello friends, I'm Marland and this is MV Pittman Cross Sim Racing. Today we're doing another episode of Clone Wars. So if you have seen this, it's a Stream Deck, and a lot of people like to use this as a button box on their sim racing rig. And when you do that, usually you have to mount it unless you just let it lay down or use its magnetic mount and then mount that. So a lot of people design things for this and they pretty much just use either the magnets that are on here or they make a slide-in mount. And I don't think that either of those are bad, but I prefer the slide-in mount because then when I mount, I know that it's not going to fly off when I decide one day that motion is actually important. Or if you have base shakers and your stuff's rattling and it falls off, you're at least sad because your Stream Deck is wired and you don't want that USB port in the back to get cracked off, because then your Stream Deck is a steamy brick. I think that a company called Sim Maverick, and I only remember that because they've imprinted their name on the inside of this mount, makes a really good option here. It mounts by sliding in, and they have one for the SteamDeck XL. I had one for the SteamDeck XL, but I sold my SteamDeck XL, my second extra one, and gave them the mount with it. So that's how it goes sometimes. You have some equipment, you make it go away. I also had a regular SteamDeck Revision 1, so not the Mark II, just the first one, and that's what this is from. But it mounts pretty much the same way. You slide it in, and then on the back there's a 1/4 inch mount, so you can use like a magic arm or something like that. The hard thing about this is that when you use this with a magic arm and then you're pressing on it, you're basically waiting for it to move or misalign. And when you have a 1/4 inch mount there that only rotates to tighten and then rotates the other direction to loosen up, once you rotate it the wrong way, it's going to get loose, and you know, you're not going to be driving trying to adjust that. You're just going to be sad because your stuff's cockeyed like this. So yeah, I don't like this mount position. However, this offers some other mounting positions. There's a face of 75. There's a couple of 40 millimeter spaced holes here for mounting to profile. Yeah, I think this has a lot of really good options, and I like that they're all there for something that someone would buy. I bought this, and I bought the one from for my SteamDeck XL, but $30 is a lot. I do understand it takes time to design, it takes time to print, but now that I can design and print my own things, I decided that I would make one for my second, now only SteamDeck XL. And you know, I figured I can make a basic wedge and do that, so I did that. And I used the amps pattern for a 1 inch ball mount. So if you're familiar with these, you can use them to mount a whole lot of things. They're popular on motorcycles, but I prefer this because it's got 4 positions in the back. I used M5 nylon lock nuts, and I decided to go through with a countersunk screw and then lock it in the back. And so this is rock solid, not going to turn. And the only way this is turning is if this ball mount turns, and you can usually tighten those enough that it's not a problem. Let me see if I can show you a ball mount really quick. Just take it, slide it in like that. Then I hold this in front of my face while I lean over. And I come back with a tray here. Tray has all sorts of items in it, like a ball mount. Put that on, lock it down by tightening it. And then you mount this to something else. And so it gives you the option to position it in a whole bunch of different ways. and then tighten it up to lock it. And if this one isn't long enough, you can always add another of a different length, or you can just put them in sequence. So a whole bunch of options there. If you want to put them in sequence, or say you want to mount it to a suction mount. I don't know what kind of people have suction mounts in their thing, or you can use an extender to attach to them. So say you have a long and a short one and you need to maybe manipulate a couple of devices. You can always chain them together like this, and then tighten it up, mount it to a piece of profile with, they call it a RAM mount, but they're just ball mounts. So say you have one on your sim rig over here somewhere, you mount that, you adjust this, then you adjust this, it gives you a little more flexibility. And then of course you would mount that last one in here. If it's too tight, just loosen it up. So it can be difficult to get them in, but once you do that, you're kind of good to go. And I haven't even tightened this a lot. There's still some room to kind of manipulate it a little bit, but if you tighten it up super tight, you know, that's not going anywhere. People trust this to hold their precious phones while they're riding motorcycles so they can pull up next to you and blast their music. So no worries, man. And like I said, this is just a simple wedge where it slides in. There's a little hole in the back here for your USB cable to go in. And you know, I'm happy with this. I think it's simple, even though there's not a bunch of holes. The holes that I need are here. And if I wanted to mount it differently, I would just design it differently and put a hole where I want it. So I think this has been a successful clone, and you know, kind of Commander Rex issue. It's the best of the best because I can make it however I want. If I decide I want it blue, one day I get some blue filament and make it blue or gold or whatever else that I need it to be. Mount it anywhere, mount it on any piece of profile, have it hanging from the top of my rig. Anything that I can imagine I can do now that I can design a mount for myself. If you would like a mount like this designed for you, just let me know in the comments, and we'll do design for donation where you pay me what you think it's worth. And if that number gets closer to 0 than it does to a big number, then I know to put like that much effort into it. And at 0, it's 0 effort. I don't do it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll get to doing some more cloning soon. I'll see you guys in the next one. And until then, I'm Marlon with MV Pittman Cross Sim Racing.